Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Tuesday, the 30th of August, 2016. Hope you're having a good week. A couple nice winners in Facebook. Mark had a Guild short. The Duncan didn't really go very far after watching it for a week. Just not enough oomph in the market today. We'll look at the volume numbers here in a minute, but we did all right. Futures were great too. Here's a look at the ES front month contract. This is the S&P 500 in futures form daily chart. Still just dead flat. Hard to say. Actually, let's get the exact numbers on this. We haven't talked about this for a while. So the low of this range is 2140-150, and the high is 2190. So you're talking about a 50-point range for almost 2 months on the S&P, keeping in mind that average daily range is usually about 20. So usually it should take, if you just move in one direction, 2.5 days to cover what we've done in 2 months. Pretty much explains to you what the market's been like. But we're still pulling money out of it. No complaints. Let's take a look at some of the key indices, and then we'll look at the intraday action and talk about a couple things for the rest of the week. So here's the QM. This is crude oil, down 67 cents to 46.9750. Gold up literally 20 cents. That's a blip, as we call it. S&P was up 11, leaving a small gap behind. NDX was up 7, but still under the risk line from that 13 sell signal that we got. SOX is up 2. Biotech's down 14. That's also a blip on that index to 3,000 point index. The VIX lost 71 cents back to 12.94. The TRIN gave us a super low reading of 0.53. Now let's take a look at this, because that 10-day moving average is still at 1.10 even with this reading. So we're going to count the last 10 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So tomorrow a number under 1 will drop off. That's not going to help. So we still need, those two high numbers are 4 and 6 days back, so it wouldn't be until next week that those would drop off. Hard for the moving average to get down to that 0.85 level with those in there. NASDAQ volume, 1.3 billion shares, so this is the lightest non-holiday session of the year so far. There was a day back in March that's, I believe, the Good Friday holiday, not Good Friday, Easter. It's the day after Easter when most of the world's closed, but we're actually open because we do Good Friday. I believe that's what that was back there. So this is a non-holiday session, and you can see the lowest of the year, the lowest since that week between Christmas and New Year's, which is always obviously very light. So this does not bode well. Let's compare this to end of August last year. Well, remember, August last year, by this point in time, the markets were tanking. So there was great volume last year compared to this year. So probably 4 more days of this at this point in time. So just trade cautiously. Let's just try to peg 1 or 2 or 3 key plays per day. No point in overtrading a dead market. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ plus 727. That means 727 more stocks up than down. New York advanced decline ratio plus 1318. Google gains $2.60, still under the 10-day moving average from that 13 sell signal back at the high a couple weeks back. Apple lost 12 cents. No big deal there. Amazon up 229, trying to make a new closing high. However, this puts us, let me look here, that's bar 11 towards the 13. So we could get a sell signal on Amazon, first one since back in May, and that topped us out for a month. Netflix down 28 cents. That's a blip. Netflix has been very, very flat, and Tesla was down just a little bit here. Made some money in Facebook today. Nice upward session in Facebook. All right, let's take a look at the intraday action. Let's switch this to 5-minute candles so we can just look at the last couple of days. So Friday was kind of all over the map with Yellen speaking. Then here we have a very small gap up here on Monday and shot higher. It was the first 10 minutes. Made some good money in the futures there. And then every candle after that was barely a half point wide, maybe 3/4 of a point wide, just about. Very few exceptions, just no real good trading the whole day. We ended up closing where we were about 4 hours prior. And the total range for the day is about 11 points. NASDAQ side, just as bad, nothing there. All right, so what do we have to look forward to? So we're going to have, this is the market preview for Tuesday. You can take a look at the economic data that's coming out tomorrow, which includes the Case-Shiller 20-City Index 30 minutes before the bell and consumer confidence 30 minutes in. We'll have a market preview probably tomorrow night for the rest of the week. I don't think I'm going to bother with one after that. There's a lot of data coming out still this week. Traditionally we don't do market previews for Fridays, and I'm not going to bother going into the Labor Day weekend. But there's a ton of data between Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we'll cover that all tomorrow. Wednesday is end of month. So the statements are going to print. So my current plan is I'm going to look tonight for some scans, run my scans, and look for some stock picks to put in the report if there's any or anything that didn't trigger so far this week in the report today. We'll call it from the tape in the morning. Wednesday for end of month statement printing, I'm probably not going to do any scans. There's no point. As dead as this is, last day of the month's just going to be slower. Thursday, there's some decent economic data early, so there's a possibility that we'll get some movement. I'll run my scans, but if Wednesday is too dead, not much is going to come up. Friday got both trade balance and non-farm payroll unemployment rate. A lot of data early, so we'll call that from the tape for sure. But if people aren't already gone for the long weekend by Wednesday, they'll be leaving shortly after the start of Friday. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal 12. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. I would probably save it at this point until after Labor Day, though. Have a great trading week.